Okay, take two. I got a phone call in the middle there. Hey, it's Angel with Weekly Welcome Mat, Bakersfield's home and lifestyle. And I wanted to talk today about buyer tips. Now, it is a seller's market right now. So if you are a buyer, you really need, we have like a 2.5 to 3 months of inventory right now. So if you are a buyer, there are some things that you need to keep in mind as you start to go out and look for your homes. So I have a nice little list. There's a lot of things to know, but I'm just gonna kind of chip away. Maybe we'll call this part 1, okay? And we'll go through this and then we'll get started and then maybe we'll do another video with part 2, okay? So the first thing you wanna keep in mind as you're looking to buy is your location. I know that's the joke, location, 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 but it's only funny because it's true, right? Only the truth is funny. Because do you wanna live in the mountains? Do you wanna live by the river? Do you want to live in town for a specific reason, maybe a specific school district? You need to live by family. Those are things to keep in mind. And it kind of narrows your focus a little bit. So we're going to start big here, and then we're going to bring it down and bring it down and bring it down, okay? So then the next thing, after you've figured out, okay, I want to live over on a certain part of town, or I want to live in a certain part of town, I want to live west side, what specifically, where? Okay, because those are just general areas. Do you want to live in the foothills on the east side, or is that not your jam? Do you want to live in the center part of town, but not southwest? You want to live more maybe Stockdale Estates, or somewhere Park Stockdale, or something a little out that way. Or maybe you want to live in northwest. Now, northwest there's northwest, then there's west, then there's Rosedale, so it kind of all kind of bleeds, and then it kind of, so you need to be a little bit more specific. And then we're going to narrow the focus a little bit more, and we're going to say, do you want 1 story or 2? What do you want? So we're starting big and we're getting smaller and smaller. So we started with what part of town, and then where in that what part of town, and now what in that what part of town. So do we want 1 story or 2? Do you want acreage? Do you want to have a mezza house, or do you want to have like lots of space? You could care less about the house. You just want space. Or what are your priorities there? How big of a house compared to like the surrounding area? Do you want to be in like a planned urban development? Do you want to be one of the first people in a new construction area? Or do you want like an older home in that part of town that you've selected? Okay. And then we're going to narrow it down a little bit more. What kind of a layout do you want? Do you want to make sure that you're going to have a split wing? Do you need to make sure you have room for entertaining? Are you absolutely sold on a cul-de-sac? The end, top to bottom, cul-de-sac, right? These are all very good things to start narrowing it down, narrowing it down, narrowing it down. And so then we need to go a little bit even smaller. How many bedrooms are we gonna, how many do you want? And then how many would be ideal, right? So we're gonna kind of break that down a little bit. Is that gonna be a deal breaker? I really want 4 bedrooms, but I'll take 3 with a kind of an office, or I absolutely have to have 5 bedrooms. Everybody needs their space, and I need an office. So, those are the kinds of things. And then what will you compromise on? What will be the things that you can, take off your list? So, is it going to be something like a pool? We have to have a pool. Or we have to have a pool and jacuzzi. I need a pool and jacuzzi. No matter what, I'm not moving for a pool without a jacuzzi. Or maybe you could care less and you say, I don't want a pool, man. I don't want to pay for the upkeep. I don't want all that crap that comes with having a pool, or whatever it is that is your deal breaker, where you're like, no. Or maybe it's RV. Maybe you need a space. You're tired of paying for the mini storage for your RV stored, to be somewhere else before you go use it. You have to go get it from the wherever, bring it home, pack it up, go on your trip. Maybe you're just like, forget it. I want it in my backyard, the end. And if you have a homeowners association, a lot of times they're going to make you take it out of that area. So you need to keep that in mind, because that's a cost. Not only would it be a homeowners association cost, but it would be a cost on top of that to have it at the mini storage place. Okay, so we want to be mindful of that. I have notes because there's a lot to know. Okay, and then before we're doing our funnel, we're doing our funnel. What can you afford? What can you afford? Do you have to sell your house to get everything you want? Do you have everything you want? You've already paid off your house and you've got that plus cash. Where are you? Or do you absolutely minimum, need to skim by minimum here to be able to get that one? You've got to figure that out, and you've got to talk to a lender. There's no, I think a lot of times you can kind of get into a mindset of where you think you have to do one to do the other. And a lot of times, you know, you have to clean up your credit, or it has to be a certain number. There are so many programs that can help you if you are eking by, or if you are a veteran, or if you have a gift coming from a family member. There's so many things that can play besides just selling your home and moving into another one, which is ideal. Everybody wants that, right? Everybody wants to move up. But there's other things that can come into play. So you need to talk to a lender. Money, 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 money. It always comes down to what can you afford? You don't go shopping, you know, at a certain grocery store because you say those prices are too high. I'm not going over there. I'm going to go to this one over here by me because it's cheaper and I can get more for the money. And that's nice. That's beautiful. Let them go to that grocery store, but I'm going to go here because I can have the same food. Same thing with buying a house. You can't go out and dream of this dream of owning a home if it's just going to have you underwater, right? Nobody wants that. Or not underwater. Not underwater, barely having your head above water. Underwater is a whole different conversation in real estate. Scratch that. So anyway, and then the other thing to consider, we're just going to keep it short here, is do you have a realtor that understands your goals? Obviously, I'm a realtor. I'm speaking from experience. You need to have somebody that understands what you want and why, and what your timeline is. Or do you have a year and a half for this whole thing to go down? Do you have a month and a half that you've got to get out and get on the show, get on the road? We're leaving California, whatever it is. You need to have somebody that understands, are you urgent? Is it urgent that they help you out with this? Or can this, you know, can we massage this a little bit? So just a quick review. You need to know, like, we're going to start out with our funnel. Where in town? What part of town? What part of your community do you want to live in? Then within that community, where? You know, east side, foothills, or just east side by a certain school. And then 1 story or 2, pool and jacuzzi, how many bedrooms? And then, you know, what's a deal breaker for you? What's an absolutely not? What can we afford? You know, so we're getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So, like I said, if you are out buying right now, you need to make sure you are pre-qualified because it is a hot market. We have like 2.5, 3 months of inventory. So if you're going to do it smart. Okay, so I hope that is a value to you, that you can take that and take those marching orders and get on out there and get shopping. And let me know if I can be of any kind of service to you, and we will talk to you later.